You, what's happening? Another lovely day in South Philadelphia, in the sketchy part of South Philadelphia. What's up there, Liquid? Liquid? So I didn't stream for a while. I didn't want to get over. I wanted to get over that second strike. That was up March 31st. So yeah, these motherfuckers. The weak greatness. What's up? Yeah, so I was on the last strike I got. I believe it's because I went on this channel, Progressive Matters, and I think some of his people, because I said come on my show, you know what I mean? I think some of his people sat on my show and reported me when I was talking about the T's, you know, like when I said things like men can't become women, common sense observations, but I guess you can't believe your eyes and ears any fucking more. Yeah. And now I go on this channel and somebody blocked me. And he's the guy that wants to debate and argue with people, right? But now I'm blocked on his channel. So you can't like I would never think of reporting anything anybody said on any fucking channel. You know what I mean? Like I just wouldn't do it. I think people can say what they want, but if you're fucking trying to irritate me, yeah, I'll fucking throw you off the channel. Fuck that. You talk to me like a clown or something like that. You keep it going, but what's up, Steve? So, so all them job in the last video I was talking about all these job offers I had. Well, none of them came through. None of them. They all acted like they were going to hire me, and then they ghosted me. Right. So I imagine some of them, some of the assholes that they hired, that they'll call me back, and I don't want to work for them. So I'm working for this dude Joe that I worked for before. Some of you people will remember Joe. Joe used to come on the channel. But I haven't. He hired me Saturday or Sunday, but I haven't. Yeah, Saturday he hired me, but I haven't been able to work because it's rained horrifically for the last 3 days. So I believe I'm working tomorrow. Seen Dangerfield? No, why? What's up? No, I've been watching mostly videos the last few days. I haven't really watched anybody lately, to be honest with you. My whole online game has stopped. I've been watching mostly movies, shit like that. There's a lot of shit going on here that I don't want to get into because there's strange years in the cornfield, but I've pretty much had enough. I think things will get better when I start working and I assess my situation again. But I've had enough of living like this. I mean, it's too much. And I owe a ton of money that I'm going to pay back. I mean, that's not the problem, but there's problems here, and I've really had enough. So. So what's this? They were chatting shit on Dangerous Stream, so I fucked off. Got to prioritize finding income in the winter. Yeah. Well, see, what I usually do is save money for the winter, but I mean, a month in the rehab, fucking 3 weeks when Reese fired me and have a job for 3 weeks. Then this last idiot I worked for, you know, he works me for 2 weeks, not that many hours, and then he fires me. He hires some Guatemalan and replaces me. Get the fuck out of here. So it's been 2 weeks I've been out of work for that, and now these last 3 days, it's rained like a bitch. I should be able to get Thursday, Friday, and Saturday in, but you know, I think today's the day that they're going to shut my phone off. So I'm almost out of food, so everything is coming together for me. But it's a bitch being out of work and not having money. I mean, what's up, Joe? So, Steve, what do you mean talking shit? What did they, what are they? I mean, were they fucking with his account? What? Chris, let me see. I don't understand. Hold on. Let me see something here. Ah, come on, man. What the fuck? Live. Oh, so he just had a call-in show. So didn't Dangerfield used to say you do a call-in when you have nothing else to do? And now he's got like a regular call-in show. Okay. I don't know. I go through like an ebb and flow with this fucking shit. Like now that I'm going to be working, I don't know how much I can stream. I really don't. I really, I really don't. So I may not be on too much. So Steve said they were discussing mental illness, dismissing it as bullshit. Oh. Well, I think the thing with mental illness, the part that I think is bullshit, like I don't think there's no mental illness. Of course there is. But how can I put this? So today when you go, most psychiatrists are going to prescribe you a pill. They're going to assess you, right? And prescribe you some kind of psychiatric medication that will not solve your problem. It might make you feel better for a time, but, and the psychiatric medication can fuck you up. A lot of these drugs are more powerful than you think. You can get hooked on that shit too. I mean, years ago, before all these medications, psychiatrists talk to you. The solution is within you. That's why they mostly listen, because you'll come up with your own solution probably. Or maybe they can help you get to that point. But, like I don't believe the whole chemical imbalance thing. I don't believe that. I think that's bullshit. I think it's bullshit. That's a grift from the pharmaceutical companies. I believe that. I think people are depressed because they don't like the way their life's going. It may be their own fault. It might be outside influences. It may be a situation they need to get out of or create. But I don't think psychiatric medication is the way to go in most cases. I don't believe it. I think it's an industry. I think it's I think it's bullshit. I really do. But, to say mental illness is bullshit, no, no. But, I also think, all this quickly emerging technology and shit like that has fucked with people. The pandemic, the rising cost of living when your wages aren't going up. I mean, that can fuck with people. Personal relationships. People. It seems like most people ain't shit anymore. I think people were morally better years ago. Let's put it that way. I think now human beings are more deceptive, more I don't know, more negative, and you can blame social media. You can blame. I think you can blame the media. I think you can blame governments. Um, you know, I mean, you look at the first 10 minutes of any newscast: murder, rape, robbery. You know what I mean? It's maybe they throw a positive story in there. Uh, you know. Right, Steve. To say it don't exist, it does, and that's probably from somebody that never had a problem mentally. You know what I mean? Like I've suffered from great anxiety. A lot of that is self-induced. It is. Did it to myself. You know. I can remember them telling me I was bipolar. I was drinking alcohol and smoking cocaine. You think it might have been the crack? Yeah. I've had like one manic episode in the last probably 10 years. And that's because I was doing a lot of acid. That's what I believe. I had a true manic episode probably about 2 years ago, but it was fun. I mean, I stayed up for a few days, and I was doing meth too in the winter. I mean, so a lot of these conditions can be self-induced. You drink a lot and then you stop drinking. Guess what? You'll probably be depressed for a little while. You know. I certainly don't feel real good about the situation that I'm in now, the living situation I'm in. I don't like it at all. It's not conducive towards peace, and yeah, it's time to go at some point. I've had enough. I mean, when they're advertising psychiatric drugs on TV, I remember this one time they had like this happy egg bouncing across the screen, right? And while the happy egg is bouncing across the screen, if your medication doesn't work for depression, and then the egg turns with a frown, right? What was their solution? Another medication on top of the medication that isn't working anymore. Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's plain crazy. That's just your brain. I don't think it's a brain chemistry. I don't. There's no proof that there's a chemical imbalance that causes mental problems. That's a bullshit premise put forth by the drug companies to get you to buy their drugs. I mean, you got medical doctors that have no real training in psychiatry, right? And I used to watch this as a kid. See, I used to get allergy shots every week for 12 years. From the time I was 8 to the time I was 18, right? And I would always come in the back door of the doctor's office because he didn't make me wait in the waiting room. When he had a minute, he'd come back, give me the shots, hook up the needles. And sometimes we would get stuck back there with a drug rep. So I would, me being curious and a kid, and I talk to anybody, I would ask him, what he does for a living. And he was a drug rep, and he would tell me he would new drugs would come out, and he was there to basically educate the doctor on the drugs. He would give them free samples. The doctor would give the samples out to his patients, and then the doctor would get some understanding how the medication worked. And then you go through the doctor's office, and he's got a doorstop that says Ativan. He's got a fucking paperweight that says Valium. You know what I mean? It was like a walking advertisement for drugs. So, you know, I think these drugs just help you live with it. I believe there's a root cause for depression or anxiety, or, you know, schizophrenia might be a physical thing, you know. People that are violent, they're said to have had more heavy metals in their body or something like that. I mean, you know, I don't profess to know everything, but I know one thing: the whole premise that depression, especially depression, is there's a chemical imbalance, and that's what caused the depression. Bullshit. I don't believe that for 1 minute, because then the drug companies come along. Well, they have the solution. They have a drug that will help you get back. You know what the chemical imbalance is caused by? The fucking psychiatric drugs that they give you. I think that's all bullshit. I think it's a grift, like everything else. I mean, look, we're surrounded. We live in a world where everybody is grifting you for your money, be it legal, be it medical. You know, everything is a grift. Everything. It is very hard to get to the truth of a situation. You know, you got people that are paid to lie to you. It's called the media, politicians. You know, I mean, you literally got to get inside information to make. You really got to research things for yourself, because people will lie to you just to get in your pocket. You know, I mean, I don't know how many so-called friends I've had in the last 20 years that betrayed me. They acted like my friend and just betrayed. I've never betrayed anyone. I've never done that kind of shit. You know what I mean? But yeah, you just got to get the fuck away from them. You know what I mean? Look what it is, king of the retards. You still sober, AJ? You still sober? Yeah, I don't think these things. Be careful. Yeah. Yeah. I think people are more deceptive today because they're being deceived. You know what I mean? I think with all the lying and misinformation that goes on from the mainstream media and social media, YouTube, they promote lies. Facebook promotes lies. And when you tell the truth, they react the opposite way, that you are the misinformer, that you, I think all this stuff, I think some people become deceptive themselves because that's what they've been taught, right or wrong. I mean, you know, I see these ads, I see these stories on Facebook that appeal to me, right? About somebody, like say something bad happened to somebody, or even something good. And that and it used to like, oh yeah, that. But now I know to go on the internet, research that story, find out if it's true. And 99% of the times it's not true. But that story reached me emotionally because they have these algorithms, or I don't profess to know how it works, but they know how to reach you emotionally. They see what you like from what you're watching, stuff like that. And I think it should be illegal. I don't think they should be able to do this stuff. But they're teaching society to accept anything, right? I mean, that's what they're teaching people. They're teaching people to believe something just because it reached them emotionally. And I think it screws a lot of people up. And sometimes the truth can be very shocking. You know what I mean? Uh, yeah. I mean, look at me. I believed all this racial bullshit. I thought white men went into Africa with nets because that movie Roots, beginning of the movie, there's some white guy nets up this Kunta Kinte, right? It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. Most of history is bullshit. It's bullshit. They lie to you about every fucking thing. So what do you do? Oh, so you're still sober. Well, good for you, AJ. 3 weeks. Yeah, you're probably smoking up a fucking storm now, ain't you? I'm sure you are. Probably smoking up a storm. Smoking up a storm. Ugly Truth, what's up, man? How are you? But see, here's the thing, AJ. Life with its ups and downs. You got to be careful, you know, to not drink again. I mean, because I know if I'm depressed or a little anxiety, I know damn right well a few drinks will nip that right in the bud. But then I start drinking so much that I literally create depression and anxiety. So a lot of the very drugs that you reach out to relieve yourself of these conditions create the condition when you abuse it. And it's very easy to abuse it, especially if you've abused it before. I guess the solution is to make your life so good that you don't need to drink or use drugs. But and therein lies the rub. I really don't know what to do, especially at my age. I think landscaping is, even though I hate it, I think it's kept me alive at some level, the physical activity. I mean, for a 60-year-old guy, I ain't in bad shape. I'll be 61 in a couple of weeks. But my father died 61, so I outlived my mother. But I don't know. Gave up booze and took up the crack pipe. Did you, Steve? Steve, let me tell you something. I had a horrific experience with crack. When I went in jail in 82. Now, if you remember, that was the time, 82, 83 was when you started to hear about crack on the media, right? So I got out in 87. And, or no, I went to jail in 83. Yeah, I got out in 87, right? I was charged in 82. And when I got out, all my friends were smoking it. And I went crazy with it. For the next 13 years, I think I smoked crack every day. I mean, I look like this. I look like a fish. Take 30 pounds off this. I was 121 pounds. And I went to AA and stayed sober for 5 years. And to tell the truth, I have smoked crack a few times, but maybe 3 or 4 times since, in the last 25 years. So, and the crack today it's all garbage. All the drugs are so cut and adulterated. And now, I mean, I read news stories of people in New York. They're not necessarily drug addicts. Maybe they're lawyers, doctors, whatever. They buy a bag of blow every now and then, snort a line, boom, they're dead. Cut with fentanyl. So it's they're cutting Xanax pills with it. They're spraying it on weed. They're trying to kill people. Do you understand? They're literally trying to kill people. You really can't get heroin on the street in Philadelphia anymore. And Kensington was like the heroin capital of the East Coast. And you literally cannot get heroin anymore. It's all fentanyl. It's all fentanyl. So, you know, and the detox from that, from what I understand from people that I know, is horrific. There's really nothing they can give you to comfort you. Whereas heroin, they could give you things to manage your detox. You know what I mean? To make you more comfortable. But with this fentanyl, there's really not a whole lot they can do. I mean, they still give you meds when you're in detox, but so DeLorean said, "Hello, Jimmy. I discovered you as a longtime viewer of Dr. K. While I normally cannot find problem with his content, I thought he approached your character politics quite partially." Well, fine. It seemed to me that he tried to attribute your current stances and temperament entirely to your upbringing. What a stretch. Yes, he did do that. What the fuck? As a New Jerseyan, developing a thicker skin is part and parcel of one's development. It makes you a more resilient person. Not much gets to you after a healthy dose of verbal sparring. Um, oh, come on. What the fuck? It's so hard to read this, man. After seeing so much drivel in psychology over recent years, it is understandable that one might lose faith, but just know that there are right-leaning libertarian, in my case, psychology students hoping to steer the discipline back to the right direction in the near future, eyes and ears. Yeah, yeah. I got to tell you, what? While I like Dr. K, his whole thing, like he was desperately trying to get me to admit that I'm some kind of victim. And if anything, I'm a victim of my own choices, my own bad judgments. You know what I mean? But and let's face it, I grew up in the '70s where drugs were glorified by the rock stars, I mean, so I mean, I think if I knew then what I know now, I probably wouldn't have ever done a drug. You know what I mean? I would have been afraid of it. But the time period that I grew up in, I don't know. And when you're a teenager, the thing to do is rebel, right? I mean, now my daughter didn't touch drugs at all. Thank God for that. But I hope she doesn't as she gets older because that bug might get her. You know. I mean, but she didn't do it when she was young, so that's good. She was able to mature naturally. So good for her. Because usually the daughter of two drug addicts or the child of two drug addicts, there's a pretty good chance that they're going to follow in your footsteps. But the kid liked school and she was smart. So, but yeah, I mean, I think, I mean, I saw a video on Dr. K where he's talking about toxic masculinity. There's no such thing. That's made up. Toxic masculinity? What the fuck are you talking about? Now, Dr. K got some very good points. Yeah, the one video I heard him talking about psychoeducation, looking into psychiatry on your own. I do that. I like Carl Jung. I like Carl Jung's take on depression, anxiety. Carl Jung, like he's not prescribing medication. These are things that can be gotten over. He's more on the tip of being your authentic self, stuff like that. Again, had I known then, growing up, what I know now, I don't think I would ever touch the drug. I don't think I would have. But yeah, you're young, you're immature, you make stupid decisions. You know, the thing with me, I kept doing it. You know what I mean? What the fuck? Went to jail and got out and started drinking and doing drugs again. You know what I mean? Like, wasn't very smart. But you know, I talked to some right leaning counselors in the rehab that I was in, and they don't believe in AA at all. But then when you go to a psychiatrist, they want 150 to $200 an hour. You know what I mean? Like, who the fuck can afford that? Who the fuck can afford that? You know what I mean? I mean, I get that you guys got to make money, but Jesus Christ. And then for how long do you got to see the shrink? Like, I know people that see shrinks for years, years. When is my birthday? April 16th. I'll be 61. I already outlived my dad. He was, yeah, the whole eyes and ears thing, like this whole transgender thing. I believe it's like a social contagion. It's exploded along with autism, along with weaker males. It's very clear. You look at someone like David Pakman. David Pakman is a weak beta male. That's what he is, and what he try. I think what he tries to do to compensate for that is appear to be intelligent, and I think David's intelligent, but he's a liar. He's a deceiver. It's easy to see. It's if it, just look at the titles to his videos as opposed to what's contained in the video. It's, you know, like his subscribers. He clearly has no respect for his subscribers. He clearly has none, none. See, David has a problem with you insulting gay people, transgender, people of another race, but he has no problem with insulting Trump supporters. So he selectively chooses who can be made fun of. And personally, I think you can make fun of everyone, including yourself. So these people put themselves on a moral high ground, and they get to choose who's hateful and what's hateful, and it's just bullshit. It's just, you know, it's you know, it's bullshit. I've had nothing in my beak for years. Yeah, I'm almost sober 11 months. On 20th, I'll be sober 11 months. So. And that means nothing. I just bought Dr. K Guide last week. Oh, yeah, he sells how to talk to people and all this shit. It's not in their interest to cure you. Right. Yeah. And there's that too. Is Dr. K a Pac-Man lefty? I don't know. I think from the way David behaved towards me, I would venture that Dr. K has a different opinion of Pac-Man. I would think that I think David fucked up doing that. I think David's introduction to me, I think, was designed to make me get angry and act out, and I just rocked the whip it and made it funny, you know. But Dr. K rightly called him out on it, and I think that I would venture that Dr. K probably thinks differently of him. And the fact is, I reached out to Dr. K's producer, right? I forget his name. Nice guy. And I said, look, like I was a little fearful that I thought it was possible that Pac-Man and the doctor would double team me. Now, I watch Dr. K's videos, and I get the sense that he's a good dude. I definitely disagree with him politically. I mean, he's on the left. The left is it's all brainwashing and propaganda. But I didn't get the impression that the doc would go along with something like that. And the producer assured me, he said, "No, no, we don't do that to people here." And they didn't. They didn't. But then the doc kept trying to get me to, you know, admit that I was a victim because I said I skipped down the street as a young child. That led him to think if I'm gay. What the fuck? But I made fun out of that too, right? Right. I made it into a comedy scene. So, you know, um, I'm supposed to have an interview with him in a few months, somewhere down the road, because I reached out to him on Discord. And I said, maybe we should go for round trip two because people are asking for it. And the views are just piling up on that video. It's got almost 1 million views right now. There's at least 3,000 views, new views each week. I've been following it. And the doc was like, yeah, I see. He's like, let me talk to my staff about this. He's like, just know that as far as scheduling goes, instead of weeks, it'll be months. So he's gotten bigger. And when I saw Dr. K, I think he was under 1 million subs. Now he's got over 2 million. So, he's a busier guy. He's got to practice. He's got the YouTube channel. So now most people praise Dr. K, but there were a few people, and my brother included. My brother said, he said he wasn't going to diagnose you, and then he spent the entire stream diagnosing you. I don't know that he diagnosed me, but there might be some truth in that, But overall, I thought Dr. K treated me well. But he's a lefty. I mean, I don't know how far he gets into politics. Most people are so disgusted with all the lying that goes on. I mean, how do you not look at the Trump situation and think, oh yeah, they're fucking with him? I mean, just a cursory look into each case tells you there's no crime. There's literally no crime. But they're taking him for the ride, And he just gets stronger. I mean, and they're frustrated by it, But it's very telling that David Pakman, you can't insult gay people, you can't insult transgender, you can't insult people of another race, but you can insult Trump supporters. Oh yeah. He did a video the other day that Trump supporters are the problem. Yeah, well, I'm some kind of problem because I support Donald Trump. It's ridiculous. And David's also doing videos, but he's bringing psychiatrists on the stream that are. The one psychiatrist the other day literally said that Joe Biden is mentally better than Donald Trump. That is so disingenuously untrue. I believe my eyes and my ears. And these fucking people try to gaslight you so bad. And once you go for bullshit, then it's easier to bestow other brainwashing bullshit on you. Most people don't follow politics because they know it's a lot of bullshit. So it's too frustrating to try to get to the truth. You know what I mean? Let's face it, it is. It is. These fucking people get paid so much money a year and they come out millionaires. Like, how does that work? Because they're stealing. They're thieves. I think the majority of Republicans and the majority of Democrats are thieves. I think they're thieves. I think it's set up so that they have to be. I'm quite sure some of these people go in there squeaky clean, thinking they're going to change the world, and they have to make deals with the devil. And they see everybody around them wetting their beak. So, the moment you take $1 illegally, you're hooked. Yeah. So, J-Dog. So, what's that say? God damn it, my screen is so fucked up. See me, a YouTuber I followed introduced me to you. Well, welcome to the chat there, J-Dog. I didn't buy the how to talk to. Right. What's up, J Dog? Sorry, I was running my mouth there. Matt Hancock and Jimmy Ludwig here. What's up, Ludwig? Lurking on the phone. Good to see you. Okay. Dr. K is down there. What's up, Swirly? Yeah, Pac-Man's. You know what kills me? The title of the video was "Proud Trump Supporter Talks to Dr. K," but Trump's name wasn't even mentioned. I don't think I even mentioned his name. And here's another thing that I thought was weird. Dr. K put a disclaimer out on the video as it starts that, like a trigger warning that there's transphobic and racist comments. Where did I make a transphobic comment or a racist comment? Where did I do that? I mean, I said I think it's funny when I see a man in a dress. Yeah. I said I believe my eyes and my ears. I said if you look like Steve, I'm not going to call you Susie. These are common sense observations. You're not going to change my mind. You know what I mean? Like, and this is what they're. Listen, once they brainwash you into that, right? If they brainwash you into the whole trans thing, you'll believe anything. Once they got you there, you will believe any fucking thing. And that's what they want. That's what they want. They don't want people doing research. They don't want people telling the truth. Because that would upset their whole fucking apple cart. You know what I mean? I mean, that's the truth of things. I mean, what the fuck? And don't I have the right to be wrong? I mean, doesn't everyone have the right to be wrong? I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, everybody's wrong quite often in their life, but they want to treat it like it's some kind of crime, like it's some kind of moral crime. And these idiot leftists, that like they just claim the moral high ground on every fucking issue. It's like, fuck you, you lunatic. My eyes and my ears don't lie to me. You know, it's oh God. Pac-Man is the worst of them. He preys on mentally ill, autistic people who are fearful, and he feeds their fear. Did anybody see the the debate with Peterson and Destiny? Oh, Peterson tore him a new asshole. Oh. See, all Destiny does is throw a ton of information at you in a fast way, and I guess that's supposed to impress people. Now, don't get me wrong. I think Destiny's smart, and I do like his take on Rittenhouse. Destiny was 100% down the line correct. 100%. 100%. Destiny was righteous on that whole thing. He didn't go with the leftist nonsense. Oh, he shouldn't have been there, and he crossed state lines, and his mother drove him there. All that bullshit. Oh my God. But like the whole, like, how could somebody? Obviously, Dr. K is smart. He's open-minded, nice guy. How could he possibly buy into the whole toxic masculinity thing? Like, the fuck? You're a Harvard-educated doctor. Like, how do you buy into that? I mean, because if you're saying there's toxic masculinity, then there must be toxic femininity, right? Right. So, yeah. And where are the feminists sticking up for women with the whole, trans women thing? Like, what they're doing to sports? Why aren't none of these feminist leaders pounding the pavement? What if Susie looks like Steve and is actually a Susie? See, I'm going to let my audience know. Now, some of you are new. This man is retarded. See, and it shows in the retarded statements he makes. You see. Right, you're absolutely right, Swirly. Well, the field he's in, if he doesn't buy in, he's fucked. Correct. Yeah, yeah. It's just like in Philadelphia with lawyers. If they're not a Democrat, they ain't going nowhere. They ain't getting anywhere. Nope. Not in Philadelphia. Nope. I mean, my lawyer, Nino Teneri, good guy, very smart. He supports the Democrats. What? He's making a living on, doing that. I don't see how anybody with half a fucking brain could support the Democrats. And their current incarnation, it's completely insane. Joe Biden has literally started an invasion, and it's done for political reasons. You get more people in a state, they get more electoral votes, right? who do you think these people are going to vote for? They're going to vote for Democrats because Democrats are giving them debit cards, they're giving them lodging. And meanwhile, our own citizens don't get anywhere near that. They're giving money to Ukraine and Israel. Fuck these other countries. Let's take care of our own country first. And if there's something left over, then let's help other countries. All these other countries create their own fucking problems. Yeah. It's ridiculous. And somebody asked me the other day, what side are you on with Israel and Hamas? You know what? To be honest with you, I'm not on any side. I see both sides of it. I don't like that innocent civilians in Gaza are being killed, but maybe their leaders should release the hostages. Maybe they should do that. And be quite honest with you, I don't really trust the Jews. I don't. Never did. A lot of propaganda, a lot of brainwashing. You can't criticize them. These are just facts. I'm old enough to know these things. So I just don't even want to get involved in it. You know what I mean? Like America first. This is why I like Trump. America first. Fuck these other countries. I could care less. Let them work it out amongst themselves. We don't have the money to give these people, and yet we're giving you money. I mean, when they give money to Ukraine, you really think Ukraine gets all of that? You really think the Ukrainian people get all of that? You don't think some of that money's kicked back to these fucking politicians? And that's common sense. Me saying that's common sense. That's common sense. It's widely known that governments are corrupt. I mean, why would you want to keep pouring money into a losing effort in Ukraine? Ukraine is not going to beat Russia. It's not going to happen. And yet the news media reports like Ukraine is winning. Now, I don't know. Recently, I haven't really, I don't want nothing to do with it. But I know early on they were reporting like Ukraine is winning, and they're not. If Putin wanted to, he could wipe them off the mat. You know what I mean? And I'm not for Putin. I'm not for Ukraine. I'm not for Israel. I'm not for Gaza. I understand some of the arguments for and against, but I live in America. Why the fuck should I care about these other countries, especially with the state our country's in? We got all these homeless, drug addicted people. We got veterans sleeping on the street. Why not help our own first, right? Before we go sending billions of dollars. It's ridiculous. What's up, Richie? AJ, we call that a tomboy. Yeah, there's no such thing anymore. Now, if a girl likes boy stuff, they're gonna try to brainwash her into, she's trans. And now the left say this shit doesn't happen, but it does happen. It does happen. There's a Richie, what is the name of that video that I told you that I watched about the children? What is the name of that video? They do a nice documentary about how they are brainwashing our young children into the whole gay, trans, the whole racial thing. They're acting as if no progress has been made between black and white people. And that's just ridiculous. I know plenty of black people that are doing quite well in life. They made good decisions. They either got schooling or started a business. You don't hear about those black people. You hear about George Floyd. You hear about Trayvon Martin. You see these idiot politicians like Maxine, what's her name? That idiot, all the people they present as good that are black are fools. They're literally fools. You don't hear about the intelligent black people that are raising their families or doing well in life. Apparently they've been able to avoid racism somehow. It's. But again, if you're reached emotionally, like I've been on Facebook a little bit, and I'm watching these, listening to some of these stories that reach me emotionally. Like, in other words, yeah, I'm glad that motherfucker got fucked over, or yeah. And then I stop myself and I go and research it on the internet, and I find out that the story is complete bullshit. But Facebook allows that, right? But if I were to say something like that, they would ban me. See, they would ban me for outright lying. But then when I go to give my opinion, and the word opinion means you could be right or you could be wrong, and God forbid if I'm wrong. But here you got people intentionally putting out stories that are lies, bold-faced lies, and Facebook allows it. So, it's enough to drive you crazy. And most people are just going to give up and just, either not go on Facebook or just accept it. Especially if it reaches them emotionally. Like it's something that they want to happen, want to be that way. It's it's nuts. Yeah, Richie, let me know if you can remember the name of that video. It's something about kids. It's a documentary that shows how kids are being indoctrinated into the whole gay, trans, racial thing, And believe me, when them kids grow up, they're going to be the future leaders, doctors, lawyers. It's insanity. It's insanity. No, I was kind of disappointed with Dr. K when I heard him talk about toxic masculinity. Like what? Like what? And of course there are men who are overbearing. There are women who are overbearing. This isn't the norm or some problem. There's dickheads in the world, But toxic masculinity, untold realities, no, Richie. It's something about the war on, is it the war on children? The war on children.
According to Wikipedia, The War on Children is a documentary by Robbie Starr.
Okay, it's called The War on Children. Watch that. I believe it's free on X, formerly known as Twitter. Yeah, the War on Children. Watch it. It's an excellent documentary. And yeah, The War on Children. That's it. No, The War on Children, Richie. That's the name of it. Robbie Starbucks or something. It's very well done. And for those of you that want to know the truth of the George Floyd thing, just watch the free documentary on YouTube called "The Fall of Minneapolis." The Fall of Minneapolis. I mean, the whole thing was a lie. They were afraid of riots, and they got riots anyway. They rioted for what, 6 months or a year? It was just ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, it's that's his whole audience. Well, I mean, I went over a lot of the comments on my video with Dr. K, and 98% of it was positive towards me. When there was one woman who was some kind of psychologist, right? She's like, "Yeah, I really appreciated this people. I really appreciate this video. So I'm constantly trying to learn how to deal with these people." And I sent her a message. I said, "Define these people," and she got smart with me. She got angry because she fucked up. That's why she got angry. She fucked up. Yeah, Richie. The name of the documentary I was looking for is "The War on Children." The War on Children. You can find it for free. I believe it's still free on X. Oh, but that's actually worth buying if you have to pay for it. But very good documentary. But you look at my daughter. She's been propagandized. She was telling me she went to a public school where there was, I think it was a middle school, right? First, second, third grade. And she told me there was a zero tolerance against violence, right? If you got into a fight, they kicked you the fuck out, right? Which is, fine. So she told me that the principal was black. And when any of the black kids did something wrong, the principal covered for them. And she called the principal a racist. And I remember stopping my daughter and saying, "Look, you don't just throw the R word around easily." You know what I mean? Now, I'm sure this principal, I'm not going to say she's racist, but maybe she's trying to look out for some of these black kids. She knows some of their family struggles, shit like that. I mean, because kids are kids. And I mean, your parents teach you how to be an animal, for the most part. Or maybe your parents are decent and you live in a shit neighborhood, you know what I mean? But a lot of that can be tied to the parents. You know what I mean? Like, they're not totally, I mean, and believe me, there are plenty of decent parents that raise shit children, and it's not even their fault. But for the most part, I think that has a lot to do with the parents. My daughter was an excellent child. She didn't cause us any problems at all. I think the worst thing she did was, instead of taking the bus from school to home, she walked with the bigger girls, and Carol freaked the fuck out. But yeah, I think that's like the worst thing she did. So she lied about it or something. Yeah. Then why a zero tolerance policy? Yeah. Well, I mean, Julia's estimation of that was that the principal was racist, and I wouldn't call that racist. Preferential treatment, shit like that. Yes, but I think the principal may have thought that. How can I put this? That that certain kids needed maybe a little more understanding or something like that. She may have thought, and she may have actually achieved some difference in some of these kids' lives. You know what I mean? But Julia just flat out called her a racist. Maybe she was. I mean, I don't know. But I remember telling Julia, don't be so quick to throw the R word out. You know, I mean, because people throw the word around so much, it's unfucking believable. The principal seems to have a tolerance within the zero tolerance policy. Yes. I'm not saying it's fair, but the principal being black, she sees some black kids that are straying. Maybe she thought she could make a difference. I'm not going to say it's racist. I don't think it was. But Julia saw the unfairness of it, right? Which it is unfair, right? She's got to walk the line, but these black kids don't. Like that's unfair. You don't get special privileges because you're a certain color. You know what I mean? Of course, we all have white privilege. Yeah, another made up fucking nonsense. And of course, you hear black people all the time. They're black. They're proud that they're black. But and see, I don't know. How can you be proud of your skin color? Like you've done nothing to achieve that. You were born. You popped out into the world, white, black, yellow, whatever, brown. There's nothing to be proud of. You know what I mean? Now, if you want to be proud of your ancestors' struggles and shit like that, that I get. But God forbid I said I was a proud white man. Oh, I would be a racist. See how that works? So the double standards are, I don't know. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. I think there's a war on white people, to be honest with you. Yeah. It's pretty obvious. But so lately I've been watching this thing. So now I'm sure you guys know who these First Amendment auditors are, right? So basically what these First Amendment auditors do, now there's some good ones and there's a lot of bad ones, right? So what they'll do is they'll go into a public building or maybe a police station and wave their camera around, right? And of course the police will tell them that they can't tape in a public building or something like that. And actually they can, right? They can, because if it's public, you can record, and they certainly have cameras all over the place recording you, and they don't have your permission. So, and maybe they get arrested, and some of them have changed some of the policies in some of these buildings, right? Well, this one guy, Chili, right? That's his nickname, Chili, right? He's just a complete asshole to every cop he sees, right? Talks down to them, calls them names. Well, he got locked up, and so he's in court. Let me see if I can find this. This is fucking awesome. Oh, shit. So now here's the situation, right? So it's only a short clip, but so he's in court for obstruction and resisting arrest, right? So the judge, wait a minute. Well, wait a fucking minute, man. Oh, man, how did I do this? Okay, give me a second. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. So this idiot is in court for obstruction and resisting arrest, right? So the judge doesn't want him filming the court process or him with a recording device because he's been known to do this in other court cases. So here it is. The judge is basically asking him to empty his pockets. So.
Pockets. What's that?
Yeah, empty your pockets and give up your phone to the judge.
I have to give you my phones? Yeah. My phones have to be completely off? Yeah. I don't really want to be part of your YouTube channel. So you already are. Great. You already are. Awesome. I'm not going to get into this guy though. I'll get into someone else. No, they're going to go to my marshal.
Do you know why I pulled you?
Hey, Mr. Castro, to empty all of his pockets. What's that?
Yeah, empty your pockets and give up your phone to the judge.
I have to give you my phones? Yeah. My phones have to be completely off? Yeah. I don't really want to be part of your YouTube channel. So you already are. Great. You already are. Awesome. I'm not going to get into this guy though. I'll get into someone else. No, they're going to go to my marshal. He's a pig. Excuse me? I said he's a pig. Okay. So I'm not going to permit you to speak to anybody in my courtroom in that manner. And if you don't want to apologize, I'm going to hold you in contempt. I apologize to the court, Your Honor. No, you can apologize to. They've done nothing to you. Actually, Your Honor, when you were here, you came over and gave a directive for no reason and started telling me what to do. Okay, well. I have all the respect and love for the court. I need Mr. Castro to empty all of his pockets.
She basically tells him to give the phones to that. Now, what you didn't see was earlier when he came into court, he had his feet up on one of the benches, and that cop that was standing there with his hand out told him to take his feet down. So he caused problems from the moment he walked into the courtroom. Then he calls the cop a pig. And then he's arguing with the judge when the judge said, I want your phones. I don't want to be a part of your YouTube channel. He snaps back with, you already are. So what happens, so they watch the video of where he does obstruct this cop doing his job. Like this cop stops this woman at a traffic stop, right? Let me see if I can pull it up. He's guilty as hell. I mean, yeah, and you got all these people screaming to free him and all that. It's too videos are too long. But so what happens is he stops this woman. She's in a car, right? This cop. And Chili walks up with his cameras and he's very close to the car. The cop walked back to his car, and he gets real close and he starts talking to the woman in the car. Cop gets out of the car. He's like, yo, stop talking to her. Back up. He takes 2 steps back, right? Apparently that wasn't far enough for the cop. And he starts arguing with the cop, and he disrespects the cop. He's like, get back in your car, little doggy, right? Tells him to mind his own business, right? So the cop quickly ends the stop with this woman because he's got to deal with this idiot, right? And the cop walks up to him, and he's arguing with the cop. And the cop's like, look, you're being detained. Put your hands behind your back. And Joey won't put his hands behind his back. And he's wrestling with him. You can see, you can see on the video. And so the cop charged him with obstruction and resisting arrest. And then he goes into the courtroom and he makes a complete ass of himself. And they had already worked out a deal where the prosecutor wasn't even asking for a prison sentence. She was asking for 30 days suspended or some bullshit, right? And she gives him, hold on, let me see if I can find that. Oh, okay. So here's the arrest. This is process. The judge ultimately puts him in jail for 6 months. And then he showed up Monday with a new lawyer, and he's acting like he's crying in court. But he made phone calls from jail that the judge listened to. It's fucking hilarious. This is the arrest. This is what he did.
Alex here with an event video on the state of Nevada versus Jose Chili de Castro, a case involving a YouTuber and self-proclaimed constitutional law scholars, quote-unquote, auditing of our state. Interest in this case stems from a collision between delete laws and the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department that resulted in a confrontation and arrest live on camera.
Oh, gotcha.
You can tell me you need to stay away from my driver. Back up. Back up, I'm going to detain you.
You're going to detain me how? In which way?
Get away from my car.
Actually, I'm standing right here. I'm at least 10 feet away, officer. I got to tell you, I'm a constitutional law scholar. You can do whatever you want, but just understand something. Your name will go on the lawsuit. Mind your own fucking business. Mind your own business. I'm a member of the press. Go get in your car and do your job, little doggy. Go see her. Okay, then detain me. Oh, she's free. Oh, you're going to detain a journalist? 2015, Rodriguez. Don't put your hands on me. Don't touch me. Don't put your fucking hands on me. No, you're not. Make sure you guys get my people on the phone. Oh, this is so you ended the stop, you dunce cap. Did you just end the stop? So that's a 2015 case.
Over here in my car.
No.
Over here.
No.
In addition.
Bring your supervisor, please. Bring your supervisor, please. Don't touch me.
To the car.
You don't get to put your hands on me. Don't grab me. Don't grab me. This, you're not. First get your supervisor out here. You're not just going to grab me and throw me on the ground. You've already released her. You've already released her. This is 2015, Rodriguez versus United States. I'll walk right in front of your car. Let's go.
The state of Nevada has charged Mr. De Castro with 2 misdemeanor counts stemming from the incident. Mr. De Castro presumably denies any allegations that have been brought against him, and in at least one video claims his right to record the police officer is protected under the law. Justice of the Peace Ann Zimmerman is prohibiting any live streaming of the proceedings, but is allowing us to provide comprehensive electronic coverage of the proceedings, the arraignment of which is scheduled June 13th, 2023 at 8 a.m. You can keep up to date with our coverage schedule by visiting ournevadajudges.com, and feel free to post any questions you have down in the comments below, or you can send us an email at media@ournevadajudges.com.
Bring your supervisor, please. Don't touch
Over
me.
to the car.
No, he doesn't know what he's doing. He has no idea what he's doing.
Right here.
Why? Look, he pushed my shoulder and left his legs wide open. What an idiot. He only did it because
So let me find the okay. Okay. Isn't there a clip? Okay. Wait a minute. Oh, come on, man. What the fuck? Ah, man. Ah, fuck this. It's too hard to figure it the fuck out. But the judge sentenced him to 2 90-day consecutive sentences. and he went to jail, and then he's calling from the jail, getting his calls aired out on YouTube. There's this other channel. Here's the deal. This guy just like absolutely hates all cops. And he's talking shit on the judge. So Monday he goes for appeal bail, right? He's appealing the case and he wants to get bail. And the judge is like, and he's standing in court like crying, right? This big tough guy, right? And the judge says, I've seen his videos from jail. He's not apologetic. He's not. And she's just like, motion denied. But it's been all over the internet. It's really funny. I mean, the one guy that I like is Long Island Audit. He's very respectful. I mean, he's been locked up a few times, but I think he's very respectful. I think there's a place for some of these people. I mean, you know, they're allowed to film. You know, you can film anything you see in public. But, you know. But I don't know. I don't know. So, yeah. Popped out of yellow, jaundice, right? What's that mean, AJ? Popped out of yellow. What the fuck does that mean? Oh, man. What the fuck? Okay. So where is everybody? Nobody's fucking chatting. Nobody's let's see if I can find something interesting. Yeah. So, well, I mean, once I get settled somewhere where I'm comfortable, I'm sure my shows will be much better. But you know, I'm really not in a good state of mind. I'm really not. You know, this whole situation down here has turned to shit, and I'm not real happy about it. So, I mean, I start working tomorrow, so things should get better just based on that. But you know, it's just a real shit show down here. See, this is why I got to stream more often. Yeah. I mean, I haven't streamed in a while. Jeremiah, good to see you, Jimmy. I've been popping in and out. Hey, what's up, man? Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I haven't done a stream in a while. Christ. What I was waiting for was the first strike to go away, which was March 31st. So, yeah, there's that. I mean, YouTube is really fucked up, man. It's really fucked up. You can't give an opinion that goes against what they think is true. You can't do that. They act like little old me is so powerful that if I say something that they disagree with, right? They, meaning YouTube, the powers that be at YouTube, that earns me a strike. Yeah. But then I see Jimmy Dore saying the same things I say about the pandemic, about trans, about race. It's okay for him to do it. You know? It's okay for him. Was hoping you were streaming on Easter. Yeah, I considered it, but I just, dude, I wasn't in the right frame of mind, to be honest with you. I mean, you know, I'm not in the greatest of living situations right now, and I'm very unhappy. And plus, you know, I haven't worked in a while. I mean, this fucking idiot fired me a few weeks ago when he knew damn right well. I remember when this motherfucker gave me the Christmas bonus. I remember thanking him, and the look on his face, I could tell he didn't like giving it to me. You know what I mean? He didn't like, and my thing is, if you didn't want to get, he didn't have to. You know what I mean? Like, at some level, I wished he didn't, because I could tell he did. He didn't even acknowledge that I thanked him. Yeah. I could tell by the look in his face. He did not like giving it to me. Oh, why the fuck he did? Yeah. And he knew then whether or not he was going to hire me this year. So he used me while the girl didn't work the first 2 weeks. She was doing other shit. So as soon as she came back, like a day later, he hired another guy and fired him. And from the looks of the other guy, I guarantee he's not keeping up with the shit that they want done. I guarantee. He's fired 15 people. So last year, from I think April to August, he fired like 15 people. So for me to last as long as I did was probably a testament to me. You know, it's just fucking ridiculous. But that's the truth. The point, the truth is powerful. Yeah, but okay, so psychologically, and not just me, like I know this is all bullshit, but if human beings are being taught through social media that you can't have an opinion, that you can't go against the mainstream, right? What does that do to people? It shuts them up. It gets them to accept whatever they're told, right? This is a serious problem. This. I'm not making a mountain out of a molehill here. This is a mountainous problem. When you're teaching people that they can't share their opinions just because they go against the mainstream media, and believe me, I mean, they lied about everything about COVID. It was a lie. Their coverage of the election, yeah, and you don't even know what you can and can't say. You know what I mean? Like they make it like you couldn't say anything about the Hunter Biden thing, and then what? A year or two later, the New York Times comes out and says it's all true, and yeah, it was Hunter Biden's, and it wasn't Russian disinformation. But at that time, they would have dinged you because that's what the mainstream was saying. So really, YouTube, Facebook, and these are all part of a communist takeover. That's my true belief. I think we're in the midst of a communist takeover. I think that information is very, very important. I think, when I was a bill collector, one of the things that I would do is find out as much information about that debtor that I was focusing on. And I would get that through looking through their credit records, talking to people that knew them, talking to the debtor themselves. You know what I mean? And the gist of it was they made a bad deal. A credit card basically is a bad deal. That's what it is. And only the most disciplined of people are able to use them effectively, you know. And a lot of people aren't that disciplined, you know. You make the minimum payment, you'll never pay it down. You know what I mean? And they're angry about it, right? And a lot of people would pay if they could, but you lose a job, you get disabled, divorce, medical problems, mental problems, and they're pissed off because by the time, if the debt's $4,000 and I'm talking to them, I guarantee you they only really owe $2,000. The bank done whooped them up double, so they're already pissed off. And chances are, because I worked seconds paper, which meant I was the second agency that got it. Well, the first agency beat the balls off them. Disrespectful on the phone. And I never saw the point in that, because why would you pay a guy that's talking to you like a clown? Now, I was hard on the phone. Like, I didn't take any shit, but I wasn't a disrespectful asshole either. Because what? Again, why would you pay somebody that's talking to you like you're a fool? And then a lot of them would talk to you like that because they expected you to. And I always deflected it with a joke or bring them back to the money. And I would assure them, like, look, if you hang up the phone, I'll just move on to the next call. It ain't personal here for me. You made a bad deal. I get it. People beat you up on the phone. That's not my style. I'm trying to help you here. And, if you made 1 or 2 deals a day, you were doing pretty fucking good. And I did do well at it. I wish that kind of job was available now, but not in this area. Not in this area. And a lot of these companies, I had a felony 42 years ago. And it was nothing financial, nothing involving children, no sex, no that. It was a burglary. And they won't hire me because of that. Now, the agency I worked for 20 years ago, they didn't care about that. They were fine with it. The owner was actually in Narcotics Anonymous at the time. So, but, And believe me, they don't have angels working the phones for bill collections. You know, a lot of these people got a lot of shit with them. Trust me. You know, I mean, nobody's perfect, but yeah. And actually, you know, I would see a lot of the black kids come in that sold drugs and stuff, and they were good on the phone if they learned to be professional. And I was a takeover. I was like a supervisor, so I would teach them like, look, man, you're I would tell these kids like, look, I'd show them my paycheck. I'm like, there's no reason why you can't make this money, but you're talking to mostly white people. You can't be hitting them with that shabab shawang shit. They ain't having it. You got to speak properly. You know what I mean? If they disrespect you, don't do it back. Just keep bringing them back to the money. Stay focused. And a lot of them couldn't handle it. Yeah, I mean, they disrespect me. I mean, you can't insult people on the phone. You could get sued. You know? But I understood that immediately, and I did quite well. I did, making 70 grand a year 25 years ago. I mean. I agree. The only way to take down America is from within. Well, there was some famous commie, I think, at the end of the 50s or the beginning of the 60s, and he said that we will take down America without firing a shot, and they do that through propaganda, brainwashing, and that's mostly the far left. You know, the so-called progressives. I mean, and these people don't even realize what they're doing. A lot of these progressives, I'm sure, are decent people. They don't realize. I don't think a lot of them realize what they're doing. That's where the term useful idiot comes from. It really does. I mean, they can talk all the shit they want on conservatives, but the fact is, who's letting illegal aliens in? Who's sending all this aid to a losing cause, Ukraine, and now Israel? And no matter what you think about Israel, they're losing the PR war. They are. Because if they keep bombing Gaza, innocent people are going to die. I mean, and I get that Hamas attacked them first. They have hostages, but that's not the way it's playing out. That's not the way it's being perceived. But I don't think the United States should be helping Israel. I don't think the United States should be helping Ukraine. I think the United States should be helping United States citizens, not illegal aliens, not other countries. What would be like 35 trillion in debt? I mean, when does it stop? I mean, where does this money come from? I mean, I owe money to somebody now. I don't have money to help other people. How the fuck does the government have money to help other people when they're 35 trillion in debt? How does that happen? It's completely insane. They just print money. And then we have inflation because of all this shit. And then they want to gaslight you and tell you inflation's getting better. It's not. It's not. Fucking grocery prices are through the roof. Through the fucking roof. They're printing $1 trillion every 100 days. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. And the end result of that is going to be disaster. There's going to be some kind of disaster. They keep robbing Peter to pay Paul. At some point, that blows up in our faces. And these elites, these people doing this shit, they're not going to be bothered by it. They'll still be leading comfortable lives. A lot of the decisions these politicians make never comes near them. The consequences of their decisions, the laws that they make, the bullshit policies they come up with, doesn't hurt them. Doesn't hurt them. Doesn't hurt the Republicans. Doesn't hurt the Democrats. because these cocksuckers are elite. You know, they're insulated against all of this shit. And you and me don't matter, apparently. We don't matter. You think most of the country supports bringing millions of illegal aliens here? When we got our own problems with homelessness and drug addiction and veterans that are homeless, you know, I mean, I think they've estimated that 20 or 30 billion would end the homeless problem. I mean, how much money have they spent on Afghanistan, on Ukraine, Israel? I mean, fuck all these countries. Fuck them. Help our people. Get your own house in order before you help other people. This is just common sense. Like, I'm no political wizard, but common sense is common sense. And I think when they send 50 million to Ukraine, I think some of that comes back to these politicians. Yeah, I do. It's called corruption. Yeah, I think a lot of that 50 million when it goes to Ukraine, I think a lot of it goes in certain select pockets. Yeah, I do. Apparently, we're paying for everything in Ukraine, pensions, all kind of shit. Well, why? Why? I mean, they wanted to fuck with Russia, threatening to join NATO. Russia can't have NATO, them joining NATO. That would basically be the end of Russia. You know, I'm not pro-Russian or anything like that, but yeah, Russia has the right to operate the way they operate. Every invasion of Russia has come through Ukraine. It pretty much has to. And I think Ukraine was prompted by the U.S. to do this shit. These fucking Democrats have been itching to fucking get into a war with Russia. I don't know why. What? I mean, what's the end of that? Nuclear war? Who the fuck wants that? And because Trump talks well of Putin in public, he's somehow colluding with him? No, that's smart. You praise your enemies in public, and in private, you wag your finger, you know, like. But see, me talking like this, the commies, the progressives, will say that I support Russia. No. I support America. I think America should get the fuck out of all these other countries' business. Leave them the fuck alone. You know what I mean? They're just wasting money. But see, there's something in it for them. There's something in it for them. They're not telling you the whole story. They're not. They're lying to you. Play this. All right, hold on.
This is a war that should have never happened. It's a war the Russians tried repeatedly to settle on terms that were very, very beneficial to Ukraine and us. The major thing they wanted was for us to keep NATO out of the Ukraine. The big military contractors want to add new countries to NATO all the time. Why? is then that country has to conform its military purchases to NATO weapon specifications, which means certain companies, Northrop Grumman, Raytheon, General Dynamics, Boeing, and Lockheed, get a trapped market. In March of 2022, we committed $113 billion. Just to give you an example, we could have built a home for almost every homeless person in this country. We then committed another $24 billion since then, 2 months ago, and now President Biden's asking for another $60 billion. But the big expenses are going to come after the war, when we have to rebuild all the things that we destroyed. Mitch McConnell was asked, can we really afford to spend $113 billion to Ukraine? He said, don't worry. It's not really going to Ukraine.
It's going to American defense manufacturers.
So he just admitted it's a manufacturing scheme. And who do you think owns every one of those companies? BlackRock. So Tim Scott, during the Republican debate, said, don't worry, it's not a gift to Ukraine, it's a loan. Well, raise your hand if you think that that loan's ever getting paid back. Yeah, of course it's not. So why do they call it a loan? Is if they call it a loan, they can impose loan conditions. And what are the loan conditions that we impose on? Number one, an extreme austerity program, so that if you're poor in Ukraine, you're going to be poor forever. Number two, most important, Ukraine has to put all of its government-owned assets up for sale to multinational corporations, including all of its agricultural land, the biggest single asset in Europe. In Ukraine, there's been 1,000 years of war fought over that land. It's the richest farmland in the world. It's the breadbasket of Europe. 500,000 kids almost, Ukrainians, have died to keep that land as part of Ukraine. They almost certainly didn't know about this loan condition. They've already sold 30% of it. The buyers were DuPont, Cargill, and Monsanto. Who do you think owns all of those companies? Yeah, BlackRock. And then in December, President Biden gave out the contract to rebuild Ukraine. And who do you think got that contract? BlackRock. So they're doing this right in front of us. They don't even care that we know anymore, because they know that they can get away with it. And how do they know that? Because they have a strategy. And that strategy is an old strategy, which is they keep us at war with each other. They keep us hating on each other. They keep the Republicans and Democrats fighting each other, black against white, and all these divisions that they sow.
If you like this video and you want to learn more about me and the movement that we're
Yeah, I like RFK, the way he explains things. He's real good on vaccines, but I don't even think I could put that on YouTube. He's a little nuts about some shit, though. I think he wants reparations and all this bullshit. Come on. But he's very knowledgeable. I heard him talk about vaccines. He's very knowledgeable about that. And he just explained that quite succinctly. You know, I mean, it's all a game. They're making money off war. I mean, you know, they're killing people so companies can make money. And I would assume BlackRock is lining the pockets of these politicians. So it's just a scam, is what it is. It's all a scam. Get you to hate Russia, you know. Russia's the big evil communist country, you know. What's up, Vamps? No, Liquid, when I leave, I got the headset on. I can hear it. Do you understand? Every time I leave, I can hear everything. And that is the reason they hate JFK. Yes, they hate JFK for some of the same reasons they hate Trump. Trump explains things, too, about his taxes. All the Democrats do the same thing. If they wanted to change the tax code, they could have a long time ago. But them and all their friends benefit from it. He was right. But nobody ever said that before. Nobody ever came out and said that. So they see Trump as betraying them. Do you understand? And they could never play this war game when Trump was in there because he knows how it's going. You know what I mean? So they can't make money. I mean, the status quo isn't there anymore. You know, business as usual is interrupted with Donald Trump. So, you know, they put him through all this lawfare. They talk all this bullshit on him. You know, I mean, look at the whole bloodbath thing. He was clearly talking about, he wasn't talking about violence if he didn't get elected. It's ridiculous. And you literally had law professors. They went and found law professors from Harvard that said these things. They're just outright lying to you. I mean, look at David Pakman. He's putting on a psychiatrist that's saying that Joe Biden cognitively is better than Trump. Now, Trump has misspoke a couple times. Trump is literally running his mouth all day, every day, especially when he's going to rallies, right? Sometimes he does 2 rallies a day. If he misspeaks, that's all it is. Joe Biden can't find his way off stage. And look, I don't care what you say, the State of the Union, they had to hop his ass up with something. They had to have. They had to have. And first of all, the speech wasn't. He's gaslighting people into thinking that in order to control the border, that the Republicans have to make that bill, pass that bill, right? No, Joe Biden has the power to stop the bleeding at the border without that bill. But that bill gives billions of dollars, I think, to Ukraine, right? So it's all bullshit. And Joe Biden created the crisis. I mean, this is how insane this shit is. I can't believe he just lied directly to the American people about that. What's up, Vamps? Thank you. That's another reason they hated Putin. He stopped the West from robbing the Russian resources. Well, look, they blew up that pipeline. Jesus Christ! And blame Putin for destroying his own pipeline, right? Oh my God! Oh my God! And basically, there are officials in the Biden administration that just about admitted it. So did Biden. We'll stop it. Well, you know, it's amazing the amount of bullshit they get away with, and then they want to charge Trump with bullshit crimes. I think they were mostly pissed about the war stuff. They were on this jock when he bombed Syria. They were ready to embrace Trump, right? Right. China Joe just has to close the border and it's closed, literally. Right. He has the power to do that. But they're gaslighting people into thinking. And see, here's the problem also. The Republicans, the fucking Speaker of the House, is the one that put this bill out, I believe. Or he's, you know, rah in it, right? I mean, we don't have to help Ukraine. Well, what the fuck? We have to help ourselves first. It's just, it's ridiculous. And like RFK just said, they're doing it right in your face now. They don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. And they can't let Trump get in there, see? Because this game won't play out. Not, at least not the way they want it. You know? Right, there is no need for a bill. Right. There was no easy feat to blow up that pipeline. It had to be a special ops. Oh yeah, oh, yeah. That's why we get a military. Right. He blew up his own pipeline. Sad part is there's people that believe it. I know. But people don't see the deaths in Ukraine, only in Gaza. Man, we were so messed up. Yeah. Well, and see, that's basically the conundrum. Biden's basically kind of trying to stick up for Israel and kind of trying to stick up for the people in Gaza. You got to pick a side. You understand? You can't do both, especially with these rabid protesters, But that's going to hurt him in an election. But see, I don't. How could you, the powers that be in the Democratic Party, how could they be legitimately serious about running Biden for an election? I mean, how could they? I mean, they're going to go to massive levels of what they did in 2020. They're going to have to. I mean, they're literally going to have to. They're going to start changing the polls. They're going to listen. They're going to do all kind of shit. I don't think they care how they look for the election. They're more interested in setting up the House to impeach Trump when he wins, I think, at this point. Well, yeah, they can do that too. Yep. See, Trump needs to get in there and fire every possible person he can. Fire everybody. Fire them all. Fire everybody. And what I can't understand, well, I can understand it. Why are they not impeaching Biden? They're claiming there's no evidence, but there's plenty of evidence. I've listened to it. Because a good portion of the Republicans are corrupt. You understand? If most of the Republicans and most of the Democrats are corrupt, they're not going to snitch on each other, right? Because you snitch on one, he gives you up. You know what I mean? So, and the few that tell the truth are portrayed as crazy. They get false charges against them. So it's a complete shit show. I mean, it's completely crazy. So listen, if anybody feels like donating, there is a pinned comment at the top of the page. My buymeacoffee.com. I'd appreciate any donations. And if you have Cash App, please let me know. That would greatly help me. I could use some cash. I'll put the Cash App link in there if you can donate by way of Cash App. God knows I need money. Now my boss just texted me. We're not going to work till Friday because it's going to be too wet tomorrow. And it's going to start, he said the weather's saying it's going to start raining at 1 o'clock or something tomorrow. So it has rained a lot. I think it's rained 3 or 4 inches in a couple days. So it's a lot of fucking rain. So maybe I'll work Friday and Saturday. What the fuck? I got to try to keep my phone on. It's fucking ridiculous. It really is. Fucking ridiculous. It'll just take 4 people to get on the Biden bandwagon, and the House is basically hung. Yep. 4 Republicans, right? We got some rain here too last night anyways. Yeah, it's rained pretty torrentially Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And it looks like we're going to get a break in the morning, but my boss doesn't want to work. It's too wet. He just texted me. So, because I texted him, I'll see you tomorrow morning at 7:30. He's like, nah, Friday. Yeah. I said, I'll see you Friday. And he texted back, yes, sir. All right. So he's looking to work, but he's not going to go out there in ridiculous conditions. Yeah. 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 I just want to get work and get some money rolling in, I mean, then I can, make some moves, pay my friend off, be done with this bullshit. I've had enough. I intend to stay sober, you know what I mean? So, I can't believe I was partying like that, Like, God damn, dude, I was partying like a fucking rock star. You guys see me, I mean, One guy asked me about a month ago, he said, how do you know you're an alcoholic? I said, there's video evidence of it. I was drinking every day. I was too. I was spending, I would buy a 6-pack a day, right? But I would only drink 3 or 4. So I probably bought at least 4 6-packs, right? That's $60 plus a $35 bottle of whiskey. So I'll spend $100 a week on alcohol. You know what I mean? That's ridiculous. That's it's ridiculous to spend that kind of money. The thing with weed, it makes me paranoid. You know what I mean? And I really don't need to be muddling my senses. You know what I mean? It's not a solution. It's just not for me. This mofo keeps asking me why I changed some code almost a year ago. Dude, I have no idea. What are you talking about? That's all I do now. Should probably stop. If I could, the worse has been worse. Yeah, look, if you just smoke a little weed, I mean, as long as it's not controlling your life, and hey, it's your life. I mean, I know, I've seen people smoke so much fucking weed, it's ridiculous. I mean, and the tolerance to weed builds, you know what I mean? Where you're, and weed today is expensive. I mean, it's really good weed, but Jim, if you smoke indica, it won't make you paranoid. Well, I'm not looking to smoke anything. In fact, I'm looking to stop smoking cigarettes. I'm so fucking broke now. This vape is almost on its way out. So. Send him some. No, don't send me any weed. I'm looking to stay sober. I really am. See how this sober thing works out for me. Yeah. I'm just in the like wrong living situation. I mean, these halfway houses can be pure hell. It really can be pure hell. And I just need to get working. You know what I mean? Need to get physically active. You know, it's oh wait, he's in the AA house. Don't send it. Yeah, nah. Send it to me, and I'll send it to Vamps as soon as possible. Jesus Christ. I can't believe I did all the partying I did. You know, DMT, mushrooms, LSD, Xanax, alcohol. Jesus Christ, meth. Man, I'm fucking amazed I'm alive. To be honest with you. I'm sure Pennsylvania will legalize recreational weed. You got to have a few tokes then. No. I never really liked weed that much anyway. When I was a kid, I did. You know, I really don't have the urge for it. I don't have the urge for alcohol. I don't have the urge for any of it. I mean, I tripped so much for like 4 years. I tripped every weekend and sometimes in the middle of the week because, you know, I always had a lot of acid. But fuck that. I don't need that shit. It just makes things worse. It'll appear to make it better for the moment, but in the end, it's just not worth it. I mean, listen, some people can dabble in LSD, some people can smoke weed, some people can drink every now and then. That ain't me. I mean, you know, I take it to the extreme. I mean, if I knew now what I knew, if when I was growing up, if what I knew now, I knew then, I would have never even smoked a joint. No, I wouldn't have did it. And I would have avoided a lot of bullshit. I mean, I still probably would have made a lot of stupid decisions. Everyone does, but you know, going to jail, being in boys' homes, all that shit would have been gone. Maybe I'd be married with children. Yeah. Who the fuck knows? I mean, you know, it's not like I regret it, but you know, there it is. I mean, you know, had I not got involved in drugs at such a young age and continued to do it, defying all logic, I wouldn't be sitting here right here. I can tell you that right now. I mean, my brother's done very well in his life. There's no reason why I shouldn't have. You know what I mean? But, you know, it's, you know, just before I got sober, I got this hookup with this guy. I mean, this guy had everything. He had vape pens, he had mushrooms, he had mescaline, he had LSD. And I had already had an LSD connection, but I bought these mushrooms, $200 an ounce, which is expensive, right? And I did an eighth. And oh my God, man. Like I saw the devil on my bed. My fucking bed was rolling. But I got violently sick. So it's like almost every time I do mushrooms now, I get violently sick. You know, at the end. Ugh. And I even tried mashing them up and, you know, still got violently sick. I'm puffing on one of those Delta 8, 9 plus THC boom shit to get me off the nug. I didn't go to Stanford, but I went there a lot for seminars. I went on shrooms a couple times. No, I didn't get into the opioids. No, that's one thing I didn't do. Nope. I mean, don't get me wrong. I tried heroin a few times. I can count on my hand how many times. Maybe 3, 4, 5 times. Once or twice, I kind of liked it, but thank God I didn't like getting sick afterwards or none of that. So, and I knew not to do it too much because there's people that have gotten hooked that hate it. Heroin. I know people that hated it and did it too many days in a row, and they were hooked for years, and they didn't even like it. They just took it to not feel sick. So I avoided that. Just pure luck, pure dumb luck, I think. But most people go after the drugs that they get the feeling that they want, right? And I was drinking a lot of alcohol because I was very anxietal. Yeah. I mean, I never really liked landscaping because I don't know. A lot of the bosses are fucked up. A lot of the employees are fucking just downright stupid or defiant. You know what I mean? Like bad attitudes and fucking. No real benefits. You know what I mean? I mean, all these guys got, they got plenty of like big bank accounts, but they can't offer you benefits or, you know what I mean? You get nothing. You get nothing. You're not going to get a Christmas bonus. Yeah. Well, my friend back in the day ate a quarter of shrooms, was arrested, walking around his trailer park naked. Yeah, you know why? Because hallucinogens raise your body temperature. And you can get really hot. That's why I never trip in the heat. I remember Liquid will tell you, he and I went down to Wissahickon Creek and tripped. And I couldn't make the hike. It was getting too hot. It wasn't even really hot, but it was too warm. That's why I loved hiking down there in the winter and the snow, and you could stormtroop, and I wouldn't, but I couldn't handle it. I mean, so I always tripped in the summer and in air conditioning. I stayed inside, maybe went out at night if it wasn't that hot. Yeah, and then I started. I would do like 2 or 3 hits, get an Uber to the park, and just hike at 7 a.m. By 1 o'clock, the trip was over. You know what I mean? So I didn't have to miss sleep or nothing. But man, I was tripping for years, man. I tripped more than most people, I can tell you that. And there's nothing wrong with me. Now, they tell you about that HPPD. Supposedly you get flashbacks. I have yet to have one. And most of the people that get this are people like me that have done it a lot. I have yet to have one flashback. And big deal. If there was a flashback, like I would handle it. Like I've tripped so many times, but it's very rare. If anybody was going to get HPPD, that would be me. Like flashbacks and stuff. Not one. Well, see, it's very hard to get hooked on psychedelics. I mean, you can get hooked psychologically. There's no doubt about that. But to physically get hooked, no, the tolerance is too high. Like if you did shrooms one day, you wouldn't be able to successfully do them for at least a week. I mean, 80% of the tolerance would be gone after about a week. 2 weeks, I think, is a full reset. But yeah. So it's not something you're going to do every day. Even once a week was starting to get old with me, but yeah, sadly it was the one thing I had to look forward to, you know, because I liked hiking on acid. You know, it gave me energy. You know, something about being in nature. You know what I mean? Really seemed to be helping me for a little while. But yeah, of course I was drinking Xanax, fucking meth in the wintertime. You know. I enjoy my flashbacks. I say they don't happen enough. I ate shrooms like 20 times. Yeah, I've probably done shrooms 20 times. I've tripped probably 200 times. Literally. I've tripped at least 200 times. So. Yeah, see, I didn't like, I really didn't like tripping around large crowds of people. And I don't like tripping in the summer either. Being outdoors in the heat, you get overheated very easily. That's why people tear their clothes off. They get too hot. Another friend of mine would gobble LSD every day for a few months, ended up overdosing on heroin and died, unfortunately. Yeah, I mean, why would you? I mean, you really can't trip every day. You can't. I mean, if you trip one day, even if you double the dose the next day, you're going to get a whole lot of pretty much nothing. Now, if you wait 3 days, you'll get something, but it'll be short-lived. 2, 3, 4 hours tops. And it won't be the same. It won't. You're better off waiting at least a week. 2 weeks is better. I mean, and believe me, I did a lot of experimentation with this shit. It's best to wait at least 3 days, minimum 3 days. And to really trip, like to see shit that ain't there, you got to do a high dose. 4 or 5 hits. Yeah. Sometimes I saw shit. Three hits. I mean, like to really see shit that isn't there. You know what I mean? Like most people do a hit or two and they see stuff melting, which is a hallucination. Don't get me wrong, but like when you see the LSD police, like I did, that was 5 hits, and fell asleep on the come up. Woke up to 50 of everything. So AJ said, yeah, that friend had an interesting childhood. His dad lost his house due to his gambling debts. Wow, imagine that. That's why I don't gamble. The worst thing that can happen to me gambling is winning. You know what I mean? I'll buy the occasional lottery ticket, but And my old boss and the girl, they would spend money on the lottery every day. Like fuck that. She would win, so would he sometimes, but I guarantee you add it all up, they're losing. And then if you win a big number, they take half of it. 40%, 45%. Say you won $1 million and you walk away with 400,000. So you didn't really win $1 million, did you? It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. I enjoyed the bladder trip, but the thing, like, it was lasted for like 10 hours. Well, if you tripped every week like I did, most of the trips were over within 6-7 hours. And I would time it. So from the time of taking it, it was over 6 or 7 hours later. Pretty much. So what a lot of people do is they do it at night and it keeps them up all night. And the next day, you know, they're fucked up from not sleeping. So what I would do is do it at 7 o'clock in the morning and go hiking. And then I would, that used to kind of be my backyard, the Wissahickon Creek, because I'm from Roxborough, and I knew how to walk up through the park to Del Santos cheesesteak place, and there's the Chubby's is across the street. I go over there, have a few drinks, get a cheesesteak, and get an Uber, parachute home. You know, I had a lot of fun doing that too. I did. I was down that creek a lot when I was a kid. I used to cut school down there, but I never investigated down there like I did when I was tripping. Hanging out under the bridges, checking out all the graffiti and stuff. I had a good time, you know, I did. Gave me something to do, you know, it was like an adventure. I don't know. Yeah, you know, that's they don't put strychnine in LSD. That's a myth. That's a myth. The amount of LSD is measured in micrograms. You know how small that is? 100 micrograms is a general dose. It doesn't pay. LSD is so cheap to manufacture. It doesn't pay to cut it. Now they do have analogs that are almost mimic LSD perfectly, and you can tell that they're analogs because it takes hours to get off. Right? You could take it and nothing happens for 3 hours, and then it hits you. But and they also have that N-bomb shit that can hurt you, raises your blood pressure dangerously. But you can tell what it is because the bladders are real coarse. You know what I mean? And see, the dude I was getting it from, you know, they were gel tabs. It was good shit. You know, but I would do 2 or 3. I was doing 3 for the longest time. One time I did 5 and met the LSD police. Had a panic attack. You feel like you're going to die, but you're not. Jimbo Orange Sunshine. Yeah, it's just a name. Just a name. I mean, let me tell you something. LSD is LSD. There's no better LSD. You know what I mean? It depends on the dosage. You know, like with weed, it's different. There's all kind of variants, right? All different strains of weed. But alcohol is the same way. There's a certain proof. You know what I mean? And 80 proof in whiskey, 80 proof in vodka is the same thing. It's 80 proof. The taste is different. It doesn't hit you any quicker. It's all bullshit. But with LSD, there's no variant. You know, like it's LSD. So it depends on how strong your tabs are dosed. You know. And if you buy from the same person like I did, and you buy sheets like 100 hits, you know, you can experiment with it and figure out, you know, where your happy place is. Yeah, I did that shit so much. I have no interest in doing it again. I just don't. Try this sober thing out, see where it takes me. Now there are people in AA who smoke weed and trip. Yeah, so but people are free to do what they want because AA, technically AA is for alcohol. I mean, I think most people would agree, and other intoxicants, but people are free to do what they want. You're never going to hear anybody in AA meeting say, "Yeah, I smoke weed." Yeah, I mean, you might know privately or hear about it, but nobody's stupid enough to let that be known. and now with them legalizing weed, that's going to fuck up the 12-step fellowships like you wouldn't believe. That's going to create a nightmare for these fucking people and for these drug courts too. I mean, I was talking to one girl. She had a prescription for weed, and she told them about it. And the first time they tested her, they brought her in front of the judge. The judge was screaming and yelling. She had a lawyer, and the lawyer said, "Look, Your Honor, this is medicine for her." And they didn't fuck her around, but I told her, now that puts you on the radar. Like, they're going to be up your ass for every little thing. You know what I mean? Like, that infuriates these fucking people. And I don't think, like if you're on hard drugs like heroin or cocaine, yeah, you're more likely to affect society. You're more likely to maybe OD, steal, shit like that. But I don't think it's the same thing with marijuana. But see, if I smoked weed, then I probably want to drink. I'd want to trip, take a Xan or two, and I'd be right back in the. That was the first time I was ever really hooked on something, the Xanax, because I tried to stop cold turkey and my stomach got all upset. And then I read up about it, and it's called benzo belly or some shit. And plus, you can have seizures, And there was this one guy at the rehab, right? And he had been taking Xanax for, I think, 15 or 20 years, right? And his dosage was up way high, because of tolerance. And rehabs have been doing this for at least 30 years, because 30 years ago I was in a rehab. And the people in Xanax, they would try to detox them too quickly. And they were out of detox 1, 2, 3 days a week, and they would have a seizure. And they would take them to the hospital. The hospital didn't give them shit. And they would just throw them back in and some of them would have another seizure. It was very dangerous. I don't understand. If I had a serious Xanax, they detox me with Valium. They replace it with Valium, something to do with the half-life. And I was fine. I was not in any distress. But if I had a serious Xanax addiction, I would have to go through some kind of taper thing. Because I'm reading all kinds of shit. People have went through horror stories with Xanax. Because some people have this withdrawal syndrome where they're fucked up for years. I mean, Jordan Peterson had something like that happen to him. So. AJ said, Orange Sunshine was here in Laguna Beach. The Brotherhood of Eternal Love. Timothy Leary lived there for a bit. Yeah, I've read it. I saw a documentary on them. Yeah, they were basically giving it away for free. I remember back in the day, a hit of acid was $2. I mean, you can get it for $5 from people, but I was getting 10 for it. So, but I had good shit. It was dosed pretty good. So, my friend's mom was a part of that. Yeah. Did she know Jerry Garcia too? She might have. I'm not sure about that. I can't believe you're 3 weeks sober. AJ. Jesus Christ. Yeah, but if you want to laugh, look at whatchamacallit, look up chili, spelled just like the food. Chili getting locked up in Las Vegas, in Nevada. The dude is just such a, he talks down to the cops. I mean, I'm no lover of the police, but I'm not going to disrespect them, you know, especially if they're not acting like hard asses with me. I mean, believe me, I've been set up by cops. But if they're not acting like hard asses, you know, especially if I did something wrong, you know, hands behind your back, I'm not fighting them. I'm not going to win that battle, you know. But this dude, he was just the most arrogant asshole, calling these cops names, like, you know, challenging them, you know, and some cops can handle it and other cops can't. And let's face it, why would you disrespect a man with a gun that can hurt you, kill you, or take your liberty away? I mean, it's just stupid. It's fucking stupid. Fight them in court, you know? But a lot of these auditors are just, you know, they're so defined. Now, believe me, the cops are full of shit too. I mean, you know, police are allowed to lie to you. You're not allowed to lie to them. I mean, you know, so, but there's no percentage in challenging a man with a gun. You know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And I know my rights. I mean, you know, I know to shut up. You know, I mean, but benzos and alcohol, the only drugs you can die from gun through withdrawals. Pretty much. Well, you know what? There's serious complications withdrawing from psychiatric medication too. A lot of psychiatric medication people don't realize. Yeah. Okay, let's get some donations going here. There's a pinned comment at the top of the page at buymeacoffee.com. Let's get some kind of grift going here, people. Come on now. Let's get a grift going. And if you got a Cash App, I prefer it there because I need money now. So let me know. I'll put the Cash App on the in the chat. Blah, 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 blah. Fox Mulder, what's up? What's up, Fox? Yeah, that booze can really fuck you up, AJ. Well, weed doesn't have that much of physical problems, but booze can really fuck you up. Oh, shit. Show Seguino with the $5 donation. Let's see if he left a message. I'm going to get better with this. Show Seguino said, good stuff, man. Nice listening to you. Well, thank you, Show Seguino. So I say once again, Show Seguino did donate $5. $5. Appreciate that. You too can be like Show Seguino. What's up, Richie? Wanna come on, Richie? Oh shit! What the fuck am I doing? I hit the wrong thing. Stupid. Jesus Christ. Give me a second here. I'll be right back.
I'm here. Hey guys, what's up? What's up, AJ? Oh, I got news for you, AJ. Stick around. What's up, Vamps? Who else is here? Unlimited still here? What's up? Let me see. What's up, Jeremiah? If you're still here, you see everybody's been away for a while. Hey, Bass. How's it going? Good to see you.
Oh, Boz is here on the same time now.
Oh, he just got in. Looks like it.
What's up, boss?
Yeah, Jim, check this out. So this is for AJ. So it was reported today that Joe Biden took the Strategic Petroleum Reserve down to levels, the lowest levels in 40 years. And he did it by releasing oil into the American market to artificially lower the price at the pump for the 2022 midterms. But then he sold over 7 million fucking barrels to the communist Chinese and then to India and parts of Europe. That Strategic Petroleum Reserve is supposed to be for our military if a war breaks out. It's now at levels that it can't support the war. So he had said when he did all this that we were going to replenish it at $70 a barrel, which would make us money. Well, he never replenished it. Now the administration just made a declaration that they're not going to replenish it right now. They're not going to. They said because oil's too expensive. So this Nimrod, this fucking pinhead, was supposed to replenish it at $70. It's now averaging around $85, $86 a barrel. What's up, Special K? It's like $85, $86 a fucking barrel. And he's not going to replenish it now. What the fuck?
Be a great time to attack. Be a great time to attack the USA, wouldn't it?
I know. And here's another thing. Before he sold those barrels to China, Secretary Granholm, she had these private, hidden, closed-door meetings with CCP officials. What? They're our biggest enemy, and she's having closed-door. She works for the American people. She's having closed-door meetings with CCP people. It's unbelievable.
I can't believe, Rich, they've had law professors on talking about the bloodbath comment. How could you possibly teach law and just blatantly lie? Because you have to know what he was talking about.
Are you talking about Lawrence Tribe?
Yeah, any one of them.
The old blonde-looking guy? Yeah, he's a progressive libtard. You know, he's good at law, but Jimmy, he's lost. Like, you have Jonathan Turley, and you got the other guy, the law professor. I forget his name now. Very popular guy too. But they're both liberals. They both don't like Trump, and they both voted against Trump. Okay, but they come out and they say what's what because they love the law more than they love the Democratic Party. But Lawrence Tribe is a lost soul, huh?
What's going on with Turley coming out and saying there wasn't any evidence to impeach Joe Biden when they had
Jim, he
plenty
said
of
that
evidence.
he made that statement before a lot of the evidence came out. He even said it later on. He said, "Yeah, I spoke a little too early," but he didn't want to change it because he didn't want to make that part of the news.
Now, Richie Pac-Man had this psychologist come on, and the psychologist is literally claiming that Trump is showing signs of cognitive decline because he misspoke a couple of times, and that he literally said, Richie, that cognitively Biden looks a lot better than Trump.
Well, Jim, your first mistake was listening to anything on the David Pakman show. You know, he's a fucking leftist hack, Jim. Why do you even listen to him? He's a leftist hack. I don't give him any credence whatsoever. I won't even listen to him because I used to, and he's just a fucking hack. He's not worth listening to.
None of his videos comport with the title that he makes.
Right. Yeah, that's one thing. But Jim, he's very good at lying because he doesn't. When he doesn't have someone on to confront him, he just throws his info out there. And it's like when I used to listen to him, I'd be like, well, that was a lie. Well, if you leave this exculpatory part out, it sounds like the truth, but that's a fucking lie. I mean, Jim, he can't tell the truth. And his butt boy, that Luke guy, he's even worse. He's even worse because he's a smarmy little shit.
Well, he's following in the footsteps of Pac-Man. There's no doubt about it.
Well, it's his butt boy.
No
yeah.
doubt.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I know that, Jeremiah. You're right. But and I'm not saying this to like brag or anything, but I pretty much know what Pac-Man thinks on everything before he knows it. I mean, I know these fucking people. I used to be one of them years ago. I know these people. I know how they think. I understand the whole woke supremacy. And the funny thing is that one of the safest things is that they all think like the Borg, man. They all have their own thoughts. They're not allowed. That's what the woke supremacy is. They're not allowed to go against the supremacy. They'll get kicked out. Look what happened to that. What is it? J.K. Rowling. She was a liberal in good standing on Twitter. And then she came out against the trans movement, putting men against women in sports, and they kicked her out of the supremacy. All those years she paid dues, put up with her fucking nonsense, made herself look stupid and ignorant by agreeing with them, and then one little comment, boom, she's out.
Rich, they're locking people up in the UK, Scotland, and all for so-called bigotry online.
Right.
If they don't go along with
Jimmy. I don't think we can talk about it here, but later on I'll give you a call tonight because Tucker Carlson did an interview. It was like a 46-minute interview with Dr. Michael Nels, and it was about COVID. It was about the vax and COVID and what they did.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
Dude, I was fucking glued to that. I was like, oh, you can't talk about it here. Yeah,
he estimated 17 million killed worldwide.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about what they put in it. Dr. Michael Nels, he's a German medical doctor, and he just came out with a book. And I wouldn't say anything about it right here because you might get a strike. But I'm just telling you, bro, that shit. I'm gonna write it. I'm gonna write the story and put it in my Discord, and I'll let everybody know. Hey, Linda, how you doing, girl?
What's up, Linda?
Yeah,
so is it on Tucker?
Yeah, it is. So it's the top one.
He's got MTG on again.
Yeah.
And that's not the top one on Uncensored.
On my app, it was the top one, Jim. I don't know what to tell you. There's Dr. Nels, and it is the guy selling a book. Let me see. It's called The Indoctrinated Brain is the name of the book.
Okay, so the one that I watched was Steve Kirsch.
No, this is Dr. Michael Nels, Jim, and I'll tell you what, I'm going to write the story, and Hey, it's
That's
okay,
on.
Lynn.
That's
And
on
Jimmy,
Tucker.
when you watch that one, you will be riveted to it because this doctor knows so much, but he puts it in vulgate language. Like he puts it in the man on the street language so that you can understand what the fuck he's talking about.
Why
And
can't
dude,
why can't I why can't I find that
Jimmy, I would hang them. These
on
motherfuckers that
Tucker?
did this, I would hang them. Let me find the link for you. I'll text it to you. Hold on.
I mean, I
Yeah,
got
see,
Tucker
Jimmy, it's
Carlson.
at the top. It's at the top of the page. Michael Nell's
No.
the very first thing on the page. So I'm going to give you. I'll
The
text it.
very top here is Chris Como.
Yeah, well, not here. So I'm gonna text it to you right now.
Right.
Hang on.
Oh, the indoctrinated brain. Is
Yes,
that it?
that's it. Yes.
April 1st. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. And Jimmy, you don't play it here. You'll get
Right.
a strike. But I'm just saying, bro, you will be hooked on that till every minute. Because Jimmy, every minute he gives you more, and you're like, holy shit, that's why they did this, and that's why they did that, and that's what that was all about. He answers it all, Jim. And Jimmy, Tucker sits back and goes, whew, and he goes, that was dark. And the guy goes, yeah, this is some really dark stuff. Yeah, it's bad, Jim. It's bad what this guy discovered in his studies, and it's unbelievable what they did.
So what did
You guys got back.
Shosakino
I'm
put?
sorry, but guess what? You're in trouble.
Hold up. Let's see what Shosakino put up here. Since my man just donated. Shit. Oh, he put up the interview. He put up the interview. Yeah.
Oh, it's on YouTube.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Wow, that was
Yeah.
quick because today's only the 3rd. That's pretty damn
Yeah.
quick.
That might get taken down.
Yeah, it probably will.
Yeah.
BitChute probably
Right.
has it too. That's a good site to get all those things. They
Yeah,
take them
thanks,
down,
sir.
but they it takes a few days, if you know what I mean.
Right.
Yeah,
They'll probably take
that
that
interview.
down. What's up,
guys,
Linda?
guys, I recommend if that's the link to the interview, I recommend you guys watch it. It blew my mind. Yeah, Vamps. There's a video. He interviews Dr. Michael Nels, a German doctor, medical doctor, who just came out with a book, and he explained like it's unbelievable. You can't say it here because we're like prisoners of war here. There's certain things we're not allowed to say, and that's one of them.
Yeah.
So don't talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might be on X. It might be. It was done 2 days ago, but it's all over the place now. Let me see something. Where is it? Where is it? There it is. Yep.
Jesus Christ. So now my new job, Rich.
Yeah. Oh, you got a job. Nice.
Well, we haven't been able to work all week because of the rain.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I think my phone gets shut off today.
Why?
Because today's the day for the payment.
Oh, shit. What amount? How much?
$78. Oh, Jesus Christ.
When can you pay me back?
Oh.
Hypothetical job.
Should be by the end of the month. All right. Wednesday? Oh, wait a minute. 6/40, 26/40. Let's see. I gotta check when my due date is. It's either the 4th or the 6th. I hope it's the 6th. April 5th.
You got 2 days.
Yeah.
Does Cash App come right away?
Yes.
All right.
Well, you'd have to send. Well, do me a favor. Can you send me 100?
Yeah.
I could use it.
Well, you're gonna put it towards the phone, right?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, but I can use the couple extra dollars to get to work.
Yeah. And when can you pay me back?
By the end of the month, should be able to. I already owe you another 100. You know that.
Yeah. So when are you going to pay that back?
As soon as I can, Rich.
Yeah, I know.
I'm going to be working Saturdays and all, so I should be making $800 to $1,000 a week. I got to pay Chris back too. I mean, I owe him a ton of money, so. Thank you.
Okay, you should have it.
Yep. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Appreciate it.
I got to run, guys.
All right. Thanks, Rich.
If you're on after dinner, if you're still on, I'll chop back.
Yeah. I don't
All right,
know
guys.
if I'm going to be. All right.
Have a good one, guys. See you. Ooh.